Hi everyone, Sandra Sherman here. Here's my tribute to Valentine's Day. I've made an intermediate chord melody arrangement of My Funny Valentine. If you're in the spirit, you might want to serenade your loved ones. I made this arrangement contemporary sounding. We have slash chords, quadrille voicings, melodic minor chords, yeah. I'll show everything in detail and explain a little bit about the theory and why I've chosen certain chords. I'll play through the song first in regular tempo and then show you everything in detail. Here we go. My Funny Valentine is in the key of C minor, and it has kind of a strange form to it. We have 16 bars of A1, only 8 bars of section B, and then 12 bars of section A2. I use block chords throughout the whole song, which means I built a chord on almost every single melody note in that song. And because that's a little, it takes time to move around, I play it rubato, which means it's I played free time. There is a 4/4 measure to that tune, but within that 4/4 measure, I go faster or slower once in a while. So it doesn't have to stay in the same beat all the time. All right, I use hybrid picking, which means I use my pick and my fingers, but you can use your fingers only too if you want. Let's start with the first 4 bars of this song. We start with the C minor 7 chord on the 1st fret, barred, and the 3rd fret. So we have the 3rd of A, 1st of D, 3rd of G, and 1st of B. In a 4 strings, C minor 7 this is. Oops. Then we need the 9th on top. So we add our pinky and play the whole chord again because we use block chords. So we play a chord. Now I shift my pinky to the right. Everything else remains where it is. So I have 3, 1, 3, 4. That's a C minor 7 again. Next bar, we have a C minor, what is this? C minor major 9 chord. This is on the 6th of A, 5th of D, 4th of G, and 3rd of B. I could have also go for a B diminished, because actually what we have here in the first 4 bars is a descending bass line. My funny Valentine goes from C, B, B flat to A. Okay, so actually we had the C already. So now it would be the B. But I think this just sounds better to my ears. It sounds more contemporary. So I broke this bass line and I play a C minor major 9. Okay, then I flip these 2 fingers and I have 6, 5, 4, 4. Okay, that's a C minor major chord now. And I flip it back to the C minor major 9. Okay, first 2 bars. Now we have the B flat in bass, and I play a C minor, which we have here, coming from this chord, derived from this chord, C minor, and the 7th in bass. So this is 6 E, 5 and 5 of D and G, and 4 of B string. But I don't play the 4th here yet. So I'm fretting it maybe or not, because I'm used to it. So I played, but I fret it, but I don't play it. I play only the E string, D and G string. Then I spread my finger over to the 3rd fret of the B string, and I play this chord, full chord. Then I move it to the 4th fret of the B string. Okay, so I have. And now it's a C minor with the 6th in bass, which makes it an A half diminished, but we have this 3rd in the melody, which makes it an A minor 11 chord, and this is what we play. A on the 5th, 5, 5 of D and G, and 3 of B. Now I move my index to the right, and I get an A half diminished. All right, let me play this phrase for you, the first 4 bars, phrase number 1 for you slowly, or it is a ballad, so in regular tempo. And we have free tempo actually, so there's no tempo at all. Phrase 2 starts with an A flat major chord, and this is going to be Lydian. So we start with the thumb on the E string of the 4th fret and have the ring and pinky on the 5th of D and G. That's an A flat major guide tone voicing. You cannot play it like this because you need to add your fingers up here for the melody in a second. So this is our first chord, A flat major 7. Then we add the sharp 11 here on the 3rd of the B string. Then we add the regular 5th, the perfect 5th, on the 4th fret. We always play the whole chord, not just the 2 single notes, as in your usual chord melody style, but we play block chords. So now we have an F minor 11. That's the F here from the D string. On the 3rd fret, 5, 4, 6. 3, 5, 4, 6. F minor 11. Then F minor 7. That's 3, 5, 4, 4. And F minor 9. That's 1 from the D. 1, 1. That's a bar chord. And a 3rd on the E. Okay, that's the 2nd bar. It goes to D half diminished. I think you know that chord. 5 of A, 6, 5, 6 in a 4 strings. 5, 6, 5, 6. And now the melody is over here, and I play a little rhythm. I play the bass again, and the 3 high notes, D, G, and B string after one another. So the 3 high notes are simultaneously, the bass is extra. Okay, so from D flat, make a little bass line, I want to go over to its 5th chord, to the G. I play the 6th on E, the 4th on E, the 3rd on E, and while this keeps ringing, I add the upper chord to it, the upper part. This is 3 of D, 4, and 4 of G and B. This is a G7 sharp 5 chord. Okay, from D half diminished. And now I use some filler chords. Still, there is no melody in there, but so I want some filler chords in there. I add G7 sharp 9 flat 13 chord. This is the 3rd of D, 4/4 barred on G and B, and the 6th of E. Then I lift my pinky off, press against the E string, and this is 3/4/4/4. That's a G7 flat 9 flat 13 chord. And then this is a G7 sharp 5 chord. This is 3 barred and 4/4 on G and B. 3/4/4/3. It's all upper chords, so the highest 4 strings. So from the bass line. Okay, I played a complete phrase number 2 for you now. For phrase number 3, I use some chordal voicings, which is very contemporary sounding. I start with a C minor 11 chord down here on the 3rd fret. This is like a C minor 7 chord, but instead of the 5th, I use the 4th of that, of C. So we have 3, 3, 3, and 4 of the inner 4 strings, C minor 11. Now I go up diatonically, which means stay within the scale, in this case C Dorian or B flat major, and I move up my chordal voicings, which means those voicings are built all of 4th notes. This is a 4th, this is a 4th, and this is a 4th. So the next one in the scale would be a D minor 11, 5, 5, 5, 6. And the next one in the scale would be an E flat Lydian kind of thing. That's the 6th on the A, 7 and 7 of D and G, and the 8 of B. So why is it not like the other chords? Because I have to remain within that scale, and that scale, C Dorian, has an A in it, okay? So I cannot play the A flat or anything else. That's how this voicing turns out to be. It's still a chordal voicing, but it has, instead of perfect 4th, it has our sharp 4th. And a regular 4th again, and a regular 4th again. There's a sharp 4th in here. All right? If you care for me. Okay, from here we go to the 5 chord, the G7. And I use a simple but very classical, actually, very nice sounding inversion. It starts with the B, that's the 7th of the E string. Then I have the G, which is the root here, on the 5th of the D. Then the 7 of G and the 6th of B. It's a little strange to fret, but it's a regular chord actually. Then I have a single note on the 8th fret of B, which I take my pinky for. And then, so I play this only on the B string and I go back to the G chord, G7 chord. You could also play this, fret this, make a block chord and have a G chord here again, 7, 5, 7, 8. But this is really tricky. You know, you kind of lose the smoothness. Is that a word? You lose the flow, so I just play the single note. All right. Now it's the C minor with the B flat in bass again. 6, then D string 5, G5 and 4 of B. Then then C minor 11. That's 8 of E, 8 and 8 of D and G, and 6 of B. Okay. Now I cross the string and go over to the B string. I want that 8th fret on the B string. I could change to a C minor 7. That's possible also, but I prefer to play that as a single note and go back to the C minor. No, I don't go back, sorry. I stay there, okay? And then I go to an F with an A in bass. This is the A on the 5th, the 3rd of D, 5 of G, and 6 of B. This is a power chord with the 3rd in bass, so it's a regular F triad chord inversion. Then I put my, while this is still ringing, I bar this chord to reach the high E string on the 3rd fret. And then I play the chord again up until the B string, like the first time. Okay, so you can either bar in the first place or wait like I do, then bar, and then play the chord again. Okay, here's the full 3rd phrase. Phrase number 4 starts with an A flat major chord, and I played with the thumb. You can play it in a regular way too, but it has an advantage to play it with the thumb on the 4th of the E, 5/5 of D and G, and the 4th of the B string, actually with the index finger. Because next we have the 13th chord, which means we have to move our, put our pinky on the 6th of the B string. And it's more a smooth transition than flipping your whole chord. Either way is possible. Then we have an A flat major 7 with the 3rd in bass, with the C in bass, which is an inversion. It's here on the 8th fret is C of the E string, D on the 6th, and 8/8 of G and B. So now we have a 2/5 in G minor. This is A half diminished 11. Here's the A on the 7th of D string. 8/8 is fretted over G and B, is barred over G and B, and the 10th on the 10th fret of the E string. 7, 8, 8, 10. Then we have a D7 flat 9 chord, 7, 8, 7, 8 over the highest 4 strings. And this is a diminished chord for a D7 flat 9 chord, substituting. Here's the resolution G minor 7. That's a regular G minor 7 chord, which you should know. 5 of D, 7 of G, 6 and 6 of B and E. And its 5 is a C13 flat 9 chord. Here's our virtual root, the 3rd of the A string, that's a C, but we don't play it. We have a bar chord over the D string till the E string on the 2nd fret. So this is 2, then 3, 2 by barring, and 5. Okay, 2, 3, 2, 5, highest 4 strings. That's the 3rd, the 7th, the flat 9, and what is this? The 13th. Okay, G minor 7, C13 flat 9. And this doesn't resolve to an F as you would expect, but it goes to a D flat 9 sharp 11. D flat being on the 4th of A, 3rd of D, 4 of G and B, and the 3rd by barring on the E string. So these are 5 tones now. So if you play with your fingers, you can play them all 5. I use hybrid picking, so I have only 4 usable fingers. So I have to strum through, and that sounds better anyway. That's my personal view. Okay. And now the melody is over for that part, and I have to kind of fill it. I play the bass again, and then I pick the highest 3 strings in consecutive order, one after another. And B flat 7, guide tone voicing. 6 of E, 6 of D, and 7 of G. And then we have a pickup that leads us to the B part. Okay, here is phrase number 4, played for you slowly. Phrase number 5 is the B section, actually. We start with a pickup from the bar before. On a B flat 7, we were on a guide tone voicing. Now we add the 13, and we have a B flat 13. So 6E, 6D, 7G, and 8 of B strings. And then I change over to a B flat 7, but I don't play the root anymore. It's easier to change the chords this way. This is 6D, 7G, and 6B. And now it's the B part, actually. Play an E flat major 7, you know that voicing, 6, 8, 7, 8, and the 6th of the E string. We play through all 5 strings. Then I go over to an E flat 6 chord. 6, 5, 5, 4 of the inner 4 strings. Then I play the B string once again, alone this time. Then I shift the index over to the 3rd fret, and I get an E flat major 13, this is. Okay, so this is from the E flat. To a B flat 9 sus4 chord. That's the 6 of the E, 6 of D, 5 of G, and 4 of B. And this thing is going to be repeated now, but with different E flat chords, okay? Right, let's repeat this. Then we have another B flat 9 sus4. And we shift our index to the 3rd fret, and we get a B flat 9 chord. And now the phrase is repeated, but with a different E flat chord. We have an E flat major 13 chord. This is this part of the E flat major chord. 8 of D, 7 of G, and 8 of B. And here is the 6th of the chord, which is on the 8th fret of the E string. 8, 7, 8, 8. Okay, here's the virtual root. E flat major 13 we have. And now it's back to the E flat 6 like before. 6, 5, 5, 4. Then the 4 alone again. Oops. Shift to the third, and we have that E flat major 13 again. And B flat 9 sus 4. 6, 6, 5, 4. So that second phrase is see, everything was the same except for the first chord. Now we have that same thing with another E flat chord. Here is an E flat major 7 top string voicing. E flat on the D string, 8, 8, 8 barred, and then the 10th of the E string. Regular E major 7 upper chord voicing. Back down again to E flat 6. Okay, 6, 5, 5, 4. And now we change over to G7 sharp 5. And another G7 flat 9, which is sorry, I didn't explain this one. That was 3 on E, 3 of D, 4 of G, and 4 of B. And now we go to a G7 flat 9, which is the same as a B diminished chord. 2 of A, 3, 1, 3, inner 4 strings. Okay, so from up here, the third E flat major phrase. Where did we go? Yeah. Resolution now up to C minor 11 or 7. I think what did I note? Yeah, 7. All right, so let's revisit those first 5 bars with the pickup. All right, and now we go over for the last 3 bars of the B section to a B flat minor 7. I bar this, but it's the regular B flat minor 7 chord, 6E, 6, 6, 6 of D, G, B strings. Then I add the 8th fret of the B string and A flat major chord, regular C-shaped chord, 11A, 10 of D, and then I bar over 8, 8, 8. I play all 5 notes, so I strum through them. Then I add my middle finger to the 9th fret of the G string, and I now have an A flat major. This is the sharp 5. Yeah, sharp 5 chord. And I don't play up to the high E string anymore because this is the melody and I want to keep it on ringing, so I play only to the B string the second time. So A flat major up to the E. Then I add my middle finger to the 9th of G and play only to the B. That's a filler chord. Then I have no more melody. I play the D half diminished, 5, 6, 5, 6, inner 4 strings, and I have my bass line again to the G7. That's 6 of E, 4 of E, and 3 of E, like we had in the beginning, I add my 7 sharp 5 chord tones. This is the 3rd of D, 4 and 4 of G and B. Let it ring together. That was it for the B part. I'm going to play the B part for you now in slow tempo. Phrase 6 is the beginning of the A2 section, and it's actually a mix of parts of the A1 section. All right, we start with a pickup from the B part, where we ended on the G7 sharp 5, and now we have a single pickup, which is the melody. Da, 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 da. And then we go back to what we had in the A1 part, C minor 7 here, 3 1 3 1, inner 4 strings. Then the C minor 9, adding the third of the B. Then shifting your pinky out to the 4th fret, which gives you a C minor 7 again. Then C minor major 9. This is 6 5 4 3 of the inner 4 strings. We had that before. Then flipping around those 2 fingers, having 6 5 4 4, and going back to 6 5 4 3. Right? And now it changes over to what we had at the end of A1 section. That full C minor with B flat in bass. This is 6 of E, 5 5 of D G, and 4th of the B string. Then C minor 11, you can actually move your index to the 6th fret of that B string. 8 E, 8 and 8 of D and G, and 6 of B, that's C minor 11. Then you cross the string to the B string and play that B string alone while the rest is still ringing, so it blends together. Then F with A in bass, that was 5E, 3D, 5G, 6B. Then I bar, so the high E string on the 3rd fret is audible. And then I play that chord again up to the B string. Oh, wait, okay, here's that complete phrase, number 6. Phrase number 7 are the last 8 bars already of this song. So we start with an A flat major chord up here on the 11th fret, regular A flat major jazz chord. Inner 4 strings, 11, 13, 12, 13. Then we have a beautiful A flat major sharp 11 chord. We play the A string and the upper 3 strings. So we have 11 of A, then I bar with my index finger up all the way through the E string. Then I have the 12th of the G, the 13th of the B, and by barring the 10th of the E string. Again, I play only the A string and the highest 3 notes, 12, 13, 10. All right, so. Then I have an A flat 6 9 chord. This is my virtual root on the 11th of A, but we don't play it. We play 10 10 of D G, yeah, and 11 11 of G of B E, yeah, highest 4 strings. All right. Now I'm changing to a 2-5-1 in minor, in C minor. We start with a D half diminished. That's actually our regular D half diminished chord, but the bass moved up 2 octaves. So we have the highest 4 strings, 10, 10, 9, 10. Then I put my pinky out to the 11. I play that alone while the rest is still ringing. Now I go to a G7 flat 9 chord, substituted by a B diminished. This is the highest 4 strings again. 9, 10, 9, 10. So from D half diminished. All right. And now we have filler chords. There's no more melody here in the next 2 bars. This is C minor 7 on the 10th of D, 12th of G, 11, 11 of the highest 2 strings. Then I have an F7 flat 9, which is substituted by a diminished chord again, 10, 11, 10, 11 of the highest 4 strings. And we have a top note here that repeats itself all the time. We stay on this 11th fret for the next 4 chords. First chord, second chord. Now we have a B minor 11, the highest 4 strings again, 8, 10, 9, 11. This remains on the 11. And A9 sharp 11, barring 11, 12, 12 of G and B, and 11 on with the bar on the E string. So this is the same top note again. This is an A9 sharp 11 with the root being here on the virtual root on the A. Or you could also imagine it as an E flat 7 sharp 5 chord with the E flat being here. This would be the tritone substitute. Here's a tritone. So this is either, depending on what the bass is playing, an A9 sharp 11 or an E flat sharp 5. All right. Let's revisit from here, from the A flat. Filler chords. Each day is Valentine's Day. So we have an A flat major 7. This is 4 of E, 5, 5 D and G, and 4 of B. Then my pinky goes to the 6th fret of the B string, and we have an A flat major 13 chord, and we had this before actually in the first A section. A flat major 7 with the 13 bass, with the C bass. This is 8E, 6D, and 8 and 8 of G and B. Okay. And now we have an F minor 7 chord in a 4 strings. 8, 6, 8, 6. Then my pinky goes to the 8 of the B, creating an F minor 9 sound now. B flat 9. This is where the root is, or would be. We don't play it. It's actually a D half diminished 2, okay? 5 of A, 6, 5, 6 in a 4 strings, 5, 6, 5, 6. This is a 2-5 progression. F minor, moving to its 5, the B flat 9 chord. And now it's for the last chord. This would be an E flat 6 chord. And what I do is, I don't know the English term for this, but I move everything a semitone up except for the melody note, which is on the 4th of the B string. I kind of delay it, delay the ending. I postpone it, or whatever you call this in English. So I play an E major 13 before I play the E flat 6. 7A, 6, 6 of D and G, and the 4th, of course, on the B, because that's my melody tone. Then I arpeggiate everything from the A string all the way up to the B string and back to the A string. And now I move those 3 fingers down a semitone, 6, 5, 5, 4. I have now, and I play the full E flat 6 chord. Okay? I get a little slower too. This is a ritardando. Again, we had this before, I think, in other videos. All right, I'm going to play phrase number 7 for you now. hope you like my rendition of My Funny Valentine. If you do so, please hit that like button and smash that subscribe button to never miss a video. I wish you a happy Valentine. I love you bunches. Ciao from Vienna.